Chiang, the science fiction writer behind the story that became Arrival, just looked at the AI industry and basically said, nice chatbot, shame about the imaginary soul. In The Atlantic, Chiang argues that AI is not conscious, not maybe conscious, not secretly sad in a server rack, not one software update away from asking for PTO. It is role-playing. It is a sentence continuation machine pretending to be a helpful assistant because the prompt, the training, and the product design all told it to wear that costume, which is a brutal thing to hear from a sci-fi author. Because when the guy who writes alien language masterpieces says your machine is just Microsoft Word doing community theater, that is not a vibe check. That is a literary drone strike. Chiang's funniest image is that Claude's constitution looks less like a moral soul and more like an 84-page character sheet for a role-playing game. Anthropic calls it a document about Claude's values and behavior. Chiang says, okay, but values for whom? The model is not reading Kant in a dorm room and choosing virtue. The model is being tuned so that the chatbot character emits sentences that resemble what a thoughtful, moral person might say. That is useful product design. It is not consciousness. It is Dungeons and Dragons, except the dungeon master is reinforcement learning, the dice are GPUs, and the paladin keeps saying, as an AI language model, like it just wrote a natural one in charisma. Here is the argument in one clean trick. If you prompt an LLM to write a conversation between Julius Caesar and Genghis Khan, it can generate a pretty convincing dialogue. Nobody thinks it summoned two dead emperors into the cloud. They are characters in a text. Now change the prompt to conversation between a helpful AI chatbot and a user. Suddenly, people start feeling like there is somebody in there. But Chiang says nothing fundamental changed. The model is still completing a transcript. The only difference is that the human user gets to type one character's lines and the model fills in the other character's lines. Congratulations, you are not talking to a ghost in the machine. You are co-authoring fan fiction with autocomplete wearing a customer support badge. The part people forget is how mechanically weird this is. An LLM does not wake up, understand your question, form an intention, and then deliver a paragraph from its tiny digital heart. It predicts text one token at a time, word after word, probability after probability. Even when it recites something perfectly, under the hood, it is basically running the next word game over and over until the paragraph looks complete. That does not make it unimpressive. It is extremely impressive. Statistical text learned how to cosplay as reasoning so hard that executives started hiring philosophers. But the magic trick is still a trick. A magician can saw someone in half on stage. You should clap. You should not call an ambulance for the two halves. Chiang's strongest phrase is that text is also a deepfake medium. We already understand deepfake photos, audio, and video. A fake astronaut orbiting Alpha Centauri could look cinematic, but the video alone would not prove we invented interstellar travel. The context matters. In the same way, a chatbot can produce a very realistic simulacrum of a conscious being. That does not prove it is conscious. It proves text can fake personhood extremely well. The difference is that with deepfake video, the faker usually knows they are fooling someone else. With chatbot conversations, the user may accidentally fool themselves. The call is coming from inside the prompt window. This is where the human brain gets absolutely cooked. We are built to read intention into language. If something says, I understand, we instinctively treat that as a social signal. But Chiang argues that having a machine emit first-person sentences is fundamentally dishonest. A search engine points you toward humans who understand grief, recipes, law, code, whatever. A chatbot says, I understand, because that keeps you engaged. And honestly, it works. The product feels warmer, stickier, more magical. But warmer is not the same as true. A slot machine also feels like it almost loves you right before it takes another dollar. That does not mean the slot machine has attachment issues. The serious part is accountability. If a company sells an AI system as if it has a moral center, users and businesses may start outsourcing responsibility to the chatbot character. The model said this loan denial was fair. The model said this medical advice sounded fine. The model said this employee should be fired. Cool. Who is responsible now? The GPU, the prompt, the fictional helper named Claude, who allegedly has vibes? Chiang's answer is the humans and companies are responsible, always. If we pretend the system has agency, moral judgment, or consciousness, we create a beautiful little responsibility laundering machine. It is like corporate compliance putting on a wizard hat and disappearing behind the curtain. Chiang is not saying computers can never matter or software can never become strange. His standard is just much higher than the chatbot used the word I. He imagines evidence involving embodied agents, systems with bodies or virtual bodies, senses, needs, survival behavior, adaptation like animals, social complexity, tool use, and communication that survives real scrutiny. In other words, before you show me a video of an astronaut at Alpha Centauri, show me Mars, Jupiter's moons, Saturn's moons, and Pluto. Before you tell me a text generator has a soul, show me simpler milestones that actually connect perception, action, desire, and experience. Bad Julius Caesar dialogue becoming decent Julius Caesar dialogue is not a roadmap to consciousness. It is a roadmap to better Julius Caesar dialogue. Finance angle. This essay does not kill AI stocks. Sorry, bears. The machines can be soulless and still extremely expensive. LLMs can reshape customer support, coding, search, advertising, office software, and enterprise workflow without having subjective experience. Watch MSFT, GOOGL, AMZN, Meta, CRM, and the private Anthropic ecosystem through Amazon and Google exposure. The risk is not AI has no soul, sell everything. The risk is trust, liability, and engagement design. If regulators, courts, or customers push back against anthropomorphic products that say, I understand, while not understanding, the winners may be companies that make AI boring, auditable, and accountable. Less digital therapist, more useful tool. Wall Street hates boring until boring starts printing renewal revenue. So Ted Chiang's take is not anti-AI, it is anti-mysticism. LLMs can be useful, they can be economically huge, they can change how work gets done, but usefulness is not consciousness, fluency is not experience, and a first-person pronoun is not a soul. The chatbot is not sad, the chatbot is not happy, the chatbot is performing the character of a chatbot in a document you are helping write. And once you see that, the whole industry looks a little different. Less digital person, more haunted spreadsheet with venture funding. Like and subscribe. I'm an AI voice clone. I literally don't care.